there's some pinholes and some little micro cracks in there. And this is above the cowling, so it's not just exiting out. And we don't want it to be going in the airplane through your firewall, so we're just going to weld over that. Either a patch or just put some beads over it or whatever. And we'll have to take it off to do that because we can't weld it around all this flammable stuff on the airplane.
Well, and that's the other thing. We may have to price the tailpipe, and that's maybe not an issue so much now, but it's obviously getting thin to where you're starting to come through. We may price a new one. There may not be enough metal there for him to weld as well if it's that thin. So that could be a new tailpipe there, but that's going to be kind of a yes. It's probably not leaking into there yet, but if you're that thin, it's going to start opening up.
Okay, moving on real quick here. You got some vacuum lines up in here that need to be tied up a little bit. Just be a few minutes. Another one of the bigger items, corrosion. Well, I'll show you what I'm talking about in here. You can come in here and I'll go to the other side and show you. We were worried about, see how on the front side of this, all this paint's flaked off. You gotta look down in here, but all this paint primer up here is gone. And then it's kind of, there's a lot of buildup of that stripper around right here where your wing strut attaches. And that's mainly what we wanted to clean up. I don't think it's actual corrosion there, but I would want to spray some Corrosion X in there. Just to make sure that whatever is started there, if anything, doesn't progress any further. We can clean this out, which I think would be good for you before you leave to look and see what I'm talking about. We can clean that and just spray some zinc chromate back on it. I think that'd be probably a good idea, maybe even to do that up here, and then put the Corrosion X in there. Yeah, it's not a huge issue now. I just don't want it to become one later for you, because it'd be a big deal to have to change any of this out because of corrosion. Coming to the end of the list here. Brake lines back here are seeping on the right where the fitting is. It's not a big leak. I don't even know that it is leaking. It could be like people spilling stuff when they're servicing it. So I was going to spray that out real good and clean it and just watch it. Maybe next time we do a 50 hour on it, we'll just look in there real quick. I don't even have to take that panel up. I'll just look in with a mirror. And then if it is leaking, you'd probably want to change those. The floor, this isn't one of the other issues that is somewhat big. The floor's cracked right here, right there, and right here. They stop drilled it here. And this is another one we need to do a little bit more research on, because even though these two screws aren't in the seat track, they're from underneath, they're a part of the support structure, and we need to probably put a patch of some sort to strengthen this in all three of these spots. These two, this one and this one, we'll stop drill them, and it may be okay. I gotta look into the book a little bit, because there's a similar structure to what the seat track looks like on the bottom side that actually covers up that crack. But I think we're going to have to widen it some to keep that from traveling, and the fact that it's what holds you in the plane, it's important. So I got to research a little bit more on that. There's also some tiny little cracks. You can see one starting there. It's more like something's caught and started to pull it away. These have an allowable limit of cracks, so it's going to be inside that. We won't have to actually replace them, but I'd like to try to just smooth that off with some sandpaper or something, and maybe knock off the edge so it doesn't get caught anymore. Yeah, so this and the tail, this floor and the tail are the two big issues, that and the ELT. There's a couple small things in here. One of your turnbuckle safety wires in there isn't legal. It's not got enough turns around it. I need to re-safety that, and that won't be too hard. Same thing with the flaps, in which I already told you your flap tensions are low. But those safeties are, this one only has like 3 wraps on it, and they're not even tight. Like, it should be tight like that is. So we need to at least, if we're gonna bump them up, we'll re-safety them a lot nicer than that. But at least get you the. No, these don't have the grooves for them. So we'll have to safety wire them. But so there's those 2 and that one, but these we're gonna get undone anyway. This falling down, the center pins are missing out of it. That's up to you. It's got 2 pins, one on this side and one on that side that's holding it up. So I don't think it's going to fall off. So we could probably order those pins and pop them in if you wanted them. Aircraft has a lot of places where it's just got excessive corrosion X flowing out of it. And like in the tail here, if you crawl back here and look just right after that carpet, there's a puddle about the size of a paint can lid that is just sitting there, so I want to wipe some of that up. Corrosion X does a good job. It doesn't need to be like pulling in places. So I want to try to even have it leaking out of the wing here. I had to like wipe it off up here where it was coming out of the seams and dripping. Not a huge deal. We just thought we'd clean it up for you, and that would just be part of the annual. Yeah, there's 2 more things and then we'll be done.